Jake Paul is a clown and Ryan is a baby clown. That's what they do. They try to get fame off of other people's victories and things like that. So
we are gladiators, but again, we're prize fighters. We fight for a prize. Floyd told all of us that we are prize fighters. If we can get the most amount of money for putting our life on the line, cool. That's what we're supposed to do.
That's how they feel. So actually, me saying this is actually saying, Jake, I respect you as a boxer, but you shouldn't be doing this, is what I'm saying.
Okay.
Ryan Garcia, someone who's experienced Gervonta Davis's power up close, isn't holding back his opinion. He's made a bold and unexpected prediction about the upcoming clash between Jake Paul and Gervonta Davis. Garcia's take stands out because he's looking at the fight from a different angle, taking into account details many analysts seem to overlook. This isn't just a casual prediction. It's a calculated breakdown that questions the usual narrative surrounding this massive matchup. Garcia is confident in who he thinks will come out on top, and he's ready to explain exactly why.
I heard you say that you don't like to bring your family to fights that you feel like are going to be a war. Do you feel like this is a fight that you'll bring your family to?
nah, I don't think so. Nah, I won't bring them there.
Why? You feel like it's going to be a war?
I think it's more so lead the kids and the woman home.
Yeah,
For sure.
and let the men handle business?
Yeah. Even my mom's, we gotta stay home.
Really?
But my mom is she's tough. But nah.
See, mom's being at the fight is a mainstay. You know what I mean? Like, we've seen her at the fights, we've seen her talking to you, and you're like, Mom, what's up? You know, and then get back. But even this one,
Nah.
no mom dudes.
Nah, it can get ugly.
This is strictly business.
On both sides. This is a 50-50 fight.
The idea of this matchup almost sounds unreal. On one side stands Jake Paul, over 6 feet tall and nearly 200 pounds during his cruiserweight fights. On the other side is Gervonta Davis, a compact but explosive fighter measuring about 5'4" and reigning as the 135-pound champion. The size difference is enormous, roughly 8 inches in height and potentially more than 65 pounds in weight on fight night. In a sport built around strict weight divisions to protect fighters and keep competition balanced, this kind of matchup completely defies the usual structure. It's the ultimate David versus Goliath situation, so extreme that many in the fight world are calling it unrealistic, even dangerous. And this jaw-dropping size gap is exactly what's fueling the controversy.
Well, we got to play devil's advocate because people were saying, well, Ryan, you called out Jake Paul before too, so how would you say that? What do you have to say to the people that were saying that?
Well, I'm way bigger than Gervonta Davis. Gervonta Davis is 5'4", and his last fight was at 133. My last fight was 147, I walk around 170. So, I mean, 170 to 190, whatever, you know, however big is not too much difference. But you got Gervonta Davis, he's actually really small. Like, when I fought him, like, he's small. Yeah. So I just think it's a very unfair fight. Nobody was complaining when Jake Paul was fighting Julio Cesar Chavez.
Right.
Nobody was complaining when he's fighting Anthony Joshua. And I still think Jake Paul's a cool dude. But shit, he's calling me out on my shit. I'm gonna call him out on his shit, bro. That's a fucking disgrace.
The moment the announcement hit the internet, Ryan Garcia erupted online. His reaction wasn't subtle. It was sharp, heated, and impossible to ignore. Instead of simply calling the fight out, he went all in, blasting the matchup with a brutal statement that spread like wildfire across social media. Boxing has officially turned into WWE.
Oh, Gervonta Davis. I know on Instagram you call it a circus.
Yeah, this boxing is slowly turning into the WWE. That's what I think.
Does Tank Davis have a chance?
Yes, but
yeah?
I don't even want to talk about it. Don't ask me a question like that again.
Yeah, right.
Favi J with Sportbox TV official. What do you think about that Tank versus Tank versus Jake Paul? What do you think about it?
Man, Tank about to knock that nigga out.
What's your
some real shit, man? Tank, he got over 300 fights under the belt.
You guys is good, right?
You going to the movies like Michael Phelps.
Here we go, Favi.
That's right.
Hey.
Tank. Nobody can beat Tank.
With just one bold statement, Garcia painted the fight as less of a true sporting contest and more like a staged spectacle. He suggested that the heart and tradition of boxing, a sport built on toughness, sacrifice, and legacy, are being eroded bit by bit. In his view, every matchup like this pushes the sport further away from its roots.
I mean, do you respect what Jake is doing? Like, because overall, like you said, he's strategically picking fights that it's like, I feel like I could win or look good so I could get the money. And he's not a traditional boxer, right? He don't have a boxing
But
background.
how long are we gonna give him passes for that? Pass. Like, bro, you keep on saying you're a boxer though, but you keep doing these moves that are not boxing like. You know what I mean? It's like you're fighting anybody ranked or even trying to get to. Yeah, you're doing these big fights, but you're not. This is not necessarily boxing. This is entertainment.
For Garcia, this wasn't just another celebrity boxing match. It was the ultimate betrayal of the sport he has dedicated his life to, a sign that spectacle has finally triumphed over substance.
I want Tank. I'm destroying him. I'm taking him out like Muhammad Ali took out Sonny Liston. Done. You're done. You had a good run. This is my moment. And guess what? They don't think I'm gonna last. I'm the underdog. It's the oldest tale of time. Don't judge a book by its cover.
Never.
They don't think I have it. This is my moment.
Never.
I promise you, if you look at him in his eyes, I'm gonna be prepared for this moment. I've been calling for this moment. I've been asking for this moment since I can't even think about how long. I know I'm destined for this. I'm screaming out your name. I'm screaming out everybody's name. I told you, Tyson. Told you, Denzel. I told you, everybody. Just wait. I'm just focused right now. I just know 10 more punches, 10 more rounds. Everything I'm thinking, I'm just drilling it to a place I've never been before. And I'm there. I just know that it's coming, this moment.
Man, I'm getting hot, man.
I'm just waiting. I'm just waiting. I was holding it together.
I can't even do a good.
For Garcia, this fight went far beyond the usual celebrity boxing hype. To him, it felt like a personal blow to the sport he's devoted his entire career to. It symbolized the moment when spectacle finally overshadowed real competition, when entertainment took priority over the purity of the fight game.
If you want to make money, we're talking about money. We're not talking about, accolades and, undisputed and all that. We're talking about strictly how to make some big bank.
Yeah.
It's basically get yourself very popular, avoid big fights that are risky, and ultimately just rack up wins and keep building your name into a star. It could be the social media or it could be, in the sport, however you get it, and just keep on, doing these events that you don't have to take risk and make a bunch of money. I mean, honestly, that's the blueprint. What's the point of going down a bout route or undisputed, going through the rankings? Like, there's really no point unless you don't got it. Like,
Garcia's first outburst was only the beginning. As he continued to speak out, he began unpacking what he viewed as the troubling reality behind this fight. Going beyond surface-level criticism, Garcia laid out what he believes is a dangerous new playbook taking shape in the world of boxing.
Biggest paid fight?
I got paid over 30 million for Tank fight, yeah. This is the pay-per-view numbers. They were crazy, 1.2 million sold.
Y'all get it all at one time, right?
Nah, it's like broken up because like the pay-per-view sales, like they gotta come in. 12 million check here, 10 million check later, 5. The numbers gotta come in, so.
People that wanna be in your shoes, for the money, for the women, for the fame, how fulfilling is that to you when you get it?
It's like anything in life, short dopamine doesn't last. The story of Solomon, he had all the women, he had everything, the riches, and at the end he said, this is all vanity. And honestly, that's what it is. It doesn't fulfill you in any real way. It's actually gonna leave you empty. You're gonna be by yourself and searching for, what really mattered in life.
He argued that the road to fame in boxing has changed. In his view, it's no longer about grinding through the ranks and proving yourself against the best. Instead, the new formula seems to be gaining a massive following first and learning to fight later. Garcia described a sport where online popularity carries more weight than championship credentials.
I would just say like anybody that has good skills, upcoming fighter, young, amateurs, good looking or not, but just got swag.
Yeah.
Bro, build your name up and just, boom, I want him because I know I'm gonna sleep him.
Like picking and choosing, basically.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Like
it's
me,
killing the sport though.
I try to uplift the sport with the Tank fight. I try to. Back then, nobody was fighting each other. That was a problem in the sport.
Y'all started it.
Yeah, bro, I took it by the horns, and I've only fought good fighters after that.
Garcia believes this new approach rewards fighters who carefully choose favorable matchups, stacking the odds in their favor while cashing in on massive paydays. He sees it as a strategy built on profit rather than passion for the sport. And to him, Jake Paul perfectly represents this new wave of boxing, one where business often comes before legacy.
I'm just trying to build the sport, you know what I mean? I'm trying to make sure the sport, still gets excited about, watching a real fighter fight, like the gatherings and everybody getting together watching the fight, like a real one, like real skill. Like that's what I want, not these WWE matchups that like why is that getting the casuals excited? Like that's destroying the sport, because they're gonna be okay after Jake Paul fights Tank Davis, what's next? Fucking King Kong versus Godzilla, like the fuck,
Something
you know what I mean? Like you're just ruining this shit.
Whether you like it or not, Jake Paul and Gervonta Davis is confirmed. What's happening? Well, they'll meet in an exhibition bout on 14 November. Could be the 15th. It seems like they haven't decided. It's going to be in Atlanta State Farm Arena. It's going to be streamed globally on Netflix. Big weight difference between somebody who's weighing 200 and then someone weighing 135 pounds. You may say, why does this matter? Well, because it's a spectacle. And you know what's odd is it's the first matchup that's drawing criticism from purists, but it's also drawing massive attention, and it's probably going to generate huge revenue.
He cautioned rising fighters that success today depends less on perfecting their skills and more on building their brand. A stark and unsettling message for the future of boxing.
Paul versus Tank, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like, everyone's talking about it. It's a whole thing. A lot of people liked it, didn't like it. How did you feel when you first like saw that it was a thing?
It pissed me the fuck off, bro.
Yeah,
Like,
why?
It's just disappointing on mainly Jake's end. You know, we're not falling for the Disney Channel bit no more. We're not falling for you're not a fighter no more. We're not falling for that. You know, you're ranked as a cruiserweight and you're out here trying to fight a lightweight. And then on top of it, you were just talking about fighting Anthony Joshua. That doesn't make no sense. And, you know, I just felt like it was a disgrace to boxing, and kind of it was not a good move by Jake Paul. You know, I understand people saying, you know, Gervonta got to go get his money, you know, blah, blah, blah. But, like, we're not talking about that shit. We're talking about the sport, bro. We're not talking about, oh, you got to get that money, bro. Yeah, but everybody's open to criticism. That's the whole point of this media shit. That's why they talk about basketball players. They don't talk about, well, LeBron's making too much. Like, nobody cares, bro. If LeBron's missing the shot, he's missing the fucking shot. So at the end of the day, bro, I just thought it was a disgrace to the sport. Because on one end, you know, you got the casuals, right? The casuals don't see the weight difference. They see Jake Paul and Gervonta Davis. And if Gervonta Davis doesn't fuck up Jake Paul, they're going to think Jake Paul is some pound for pound champion type of fight.
But that's not the full picture. Perhaps Garcia's strongest criticism is that this whole fight is a calculated spectacle meant to mislead the public. He pointed out that casual fans, who drive massive pay-per-view sales, don't fully grasp the impact of a 65-pound weight difference. To them, it's just two big names, Jake Paul and Gervonta Davis. Garcia warned that if Davis, the much smaller fighter, doesn't decisively dominate Paul, people might start to believe Paul is a top-tier pound-for-pound competitor who can hang with the best. He sees this as a dangerous illusion, a way for Paul to gain undeserved respect by taking advantage of a size mismatch. As Garcia put it, if Davis were Jake Paul's size, we wouldn't even be debating this. The skill gap would be crystal clear.
The circus show fight, and you know, he said he was going to retire. I believe him.
Why do you say it's a circus show fight?
It's just for giggles. Jake Paul is 200 pounds, and he's whatever he is. So
I spoke to Roberto Diaz over in Florida, and I know he's part of your team. He was a little bit upset when all that news came out. He called it a duck. Would you call it a duck?
For sure. You can call a spade, for sure. You know, if we're contracted to fight and you go and take another fight, you breach that contract, you go take another fight, that's a clear duck. I mean, obviously.
Ryan Garcia made a surprising prediction about the fight, expressing serious doubts it would actually take place. He questioned the idea, saying something along the lines of, "There's no way Gervonta accepted 195 pounds. It's crazy to think this fight will happen." He pointed out that Tank is naturally a smaller fighter, so the idea of him bulking up to such a high weight seemed unrealistic. However, Garcia went further, stating that if, against all odds, the fight does occur, his forecast isn't about who's more skilled, it's about the physics of size. He plainly said he would bet on the heavyweight. According to Garcia, Jake Paul would come out on top, not due to superior boxing ability, but because the size difference is simply too big to overcome. This kind of prediction from a top-tier boxer implies the result might be inevitable, turning the match into more of an experiment in weight difference than a genuine contest. Garcia isn't alone in this opinion. Many in the boxing world share concerns that these high-profile exhibition bouts are undermining the sport's integrity. For example, Lamont Roach Jr., who recently faced Gervonta Davis in a controversial draw, has been calling for a fair rematch. When he learned about the Jake Paul fight, Roach responded with a series of duck emojis on social media, a clear message that Tank is avoiding a serious challenge against a fellow Prime champion, opting instead for a profitable but less meaningful exhibition match.
What people don't understand is that this fight been in works before the Lamont Roach fight. I know this because I was personally there. I seen, stuff, seen both of them, in communications. So that's the first thing. But honestly, man, regardless, I'm a fighter period. So I understand that we don't have no pension. We don't have no boxing PA or no federation that's looking after us. It's only us. We're independent, entertainers. And when a fighter chooses to go for the money, if they reportedly it's 100 million, if it's not 100, if it's 50, whatever, what I'm saying? I feel like regardless, he's at the point of his career where he's talking about retirement and things like that. So if he's going for the money okay, cool. If he was going to get, I don't know the numbers, but if he was going to get, say, 25 to 30 million to fight Lamont, but now he's getting 55 to 60 or 100 million to fight Jake Paul, math is math, man. I would do the same thing. Math is math. It's still, it's like ABC 1, 2, 3.
This perspective from another experienced fighter reinforces Garcia's points, highlighting a moment of tension in the sport where genuine contenders are being pushed aside in favor of spectacle-driven events.
He don't really give a, you know what I'm saying? He don't care. That's why he don't address y'all. He don't say nothing. Because again, y'all not paying his bills. Y'all don't help him fix none of his problems. So long as he get his money, he cool. And that's what he's doing, clearly. So it is what it is. Move on. Hopefully he fight these guys. If not,
Is Garcia revealing a difficult but necessary truth about the sport's decline? Or is this simply the new reality of boxing as entertainment? That wraps up today's video. If you found it interesting, be sure to hit the like button, subscribe, and click the bell so you're always notified when we drop new content. We'd love to hear your opinions, so drop a comment below. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.